Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit. In today's videos, I wanted to actually dive deep into the last month of my Amazon business and share with you pretty much everything behind the scenes that nobody's ever going to show you, right? Most people are going to share with you their sales, but they're not going to share with you their actual net profit. They're not going to share with you actually how much money they're spending. They're not going to share with you their return percentage, account health rating, weekly ROI, average profit per flip. So one of the things that we do in our business is we track pretty much everything because, you can't grow, you can't manage what you don't measure, right? If you want to be able to grow your business, if you want to be able to have visuals of what's actually happening in your business, you've got to track, those important metrics, and numbers don't lie. And I actually want to read to you a post that I just put out in Facebook because I don't know, this just really hits home with me, and I think this could really help you out a lot. So the post reads, if you aren't tracking your numbers, you're not running a business, you're gambling. I don't care if you're flipping books, DVDs, board games, doing retail arbitrage, Amazon to Amazon flips, whatever, you need to know your numbers. If you don't know your spend, profit, ROI, sales, your return rate, then you're operating blind. The truth is, most sellers don't set up a system to track what's really happening. They might glance at their Amazon sales paycheck, which I know that's what you're doing. You're looking at your Amazon sales, your eBay sales, you're looking at your payouts, but that's not the same as actually knowing your numbers and running your numbers, because what you're getting paid out doesn't tell you pretty much anything about the story, right? So over the last 30 days, this is what my eBay to Amazon business looks like, and I'll share with you, I'll put this on the screen so you can see it, but we track week to week all of our metrics. So in our business, we're buying items on eBay and we're flipping them on Amazon. So we're tracking total spend on eBay every week, total quantity of items sourced between my two virtual assistants. I have two virtual assistants who do all my purchasing for me, total projected profit. And again, this is just projected. It could go higher, it could go lower, but this is just based on our minimum pricing that we're gonna list it for because we set up minimum, maximum pricing. Average profit per item, okay, sourced. Weekly ROI, average, right, which is just our profit divided by spend times 100. Quantity shipped to our prep center, total sales for the week, our net profit according to Seller Board. So net profit, that's what are you actually making? Because think about it, if you take a look here, maybe let's look at August 16th. If you take a look, I did $13,000 in sales. And someone who's new to business might think, oh, wow, this dude just made $13,000 in a week. He's rich. What's he doing making YouTube videos? The reality is there's fees, there's expenses, there's cost of goods. And, for me, with my team, my virtual assistants, I have two full-time sourcers. I have a repricer. I have someone who works on the back end of my business doing, stranded inventory, all different types of things, opening up cases. I have bookkeepers, so on and so forth. It comes out to about $2,500 to $2,700 a month. So there's that overhead, there's supplies, there's a little owl prep, there's returns. That kills me, right? Because I flip a lot of electronics, tools, toys, and on Amazon return rates are just insane. If you do books and DVDs, it's usually less than 3%, but I'm going after items that are, I guess you could say it's much riskier. There's higher returns, in terms of ROI and profit, but there's also higher return rates. So I always have to make sure that I'm sourcing items that are 50, 60% ROI, or else it's not worth it because the return rate will kill me, which you can see in the numbers here. So over the last 30 days, approximately 30 days, we spent $27,984 on eBay, which again, that's our supplier, sourced 545 items, projected profit came to $17,648, average profit per item, $32.38. And if you didn't know, our average selling price is over $100. So we're targeting higher ticket products. Weekly ROI average 65%. So you can see we're going after and we're targeting really good items. And again, we use Replane Catcher to source all of our deals on eBay. And that's one of the benefits of using Replane Catcher is you can upload all of your best replens and track and monitor them 24/7 around the clock. So it helps us to find deals, make best offers. Total sales for this time period was 72,000, almost 73,000, and net profit came to just shy of $11,000, 10,623. Return rate 9%, which is killing me, as I put in the post, and account health issues, 0, right? So there's ways to fly under the radar. There's ways to go after items that people would say, oh, your account's gonna get banned. What if this, what if that? Guys, I've sold over 35,000 products. I've been doing this for 5 years. Of course, there's always a way to get run over when you're crossing the street, and there's always ways to get in trouble on Amazon, but you do everything you can to mitigate the risk. I've made videos about this. You can check out the video, how to fly under the radar, flipping items from eBay to Amazon. I put out a video that breaks it all down. And I also wrote in this post, now these aren't just vanity numbers I post to feel good. They're a scorecard for my business, right? And I'm not just doing this scorecard to post it on social media, right? I'm doing this because it tells a story. It tells me which weeks I'm sourcing more items at higher profit per unit. If the profit per unit starts going down, I have a conversation with my team. I look at the products we're sourcing. I look at our sourcing methods. It tells me when my spending is too high for the week or for the returns I'm getting, how changes in sourcing strategy directly affect my sales and net profit. It tells me how much inventory is being shipped each week by the prep center. So if I see 2 weeks in a row and nothing's been sent out, I know I've got to have a conversation with the prep center, right? See what's going on here. It tells me a story about my margins. It tells me a story about my account health. So like, let me give you an example. On the week of July 7th to the 13th, which hopefully on this video, we've got like the screenshot of this, or maybe we're going back and forth with the editing. Kressler, big shout out to my video editor. I'm sure he's showing you guys this somehow in a creative way. But July 7th to the 13th, I spent $6,564 on eBay and sourced 138 items. That generated a projected profit of about $4,500 with an average profit per item of about $33. The ROI that week was 68%. Compare that to August 4th to the 10th, about a month later, I spent much less, about $4,000 compared to the $6,500. Projected profit dropped from $4,500 down to about $2,600, and my ROI was pretty consistent, dropped a little bit. So that tells me I need to look at what's going on in the business. I have to have a conversation with my team. I have to look at the products that we're sourcing. Why did we spend less? What happened? Is somebody on the team slacking, right? What's the issue? What's actually going on? So the cool thing about having a scorecard like this is, again, it tells you a story. You can't manage what you don't measure. It helps you have visuals and optics into the business, because when you're running an actual business that doesn't just rely on you, and this is what some of you guys don't understand. Some of you guys aren't really running a business. Like, yeah, you have a business, you're making money, but you can't just walk away from the business for 2 weeks or a week or even 3 days and keep making money, right? And I don't say this to brag or anything, but I've set this up to where this business is generating money without me. I'm not the one sourcing. I'm not the one listing. I'm not the one shipping. I'm not the one repricing. I'm not the one opening up Amazon cases, right? I am just the owner, right? I am running this as an owner. Obviously, I'm the one spending my money, and if someone has to get fired or hired or quality control or training, like there's parts of the business that I obviously have to run, and there's some times where I'm not working at all, and there's other times where I've got to spend a good amount of time and put the hours in to fix something. But back to what I post right here, you can't fix a problem or improve a system if you can't see it. And you definitely can't make confident data-backed decisions by guessing. Unfortunately, most people would rather pretend, not even quotes, I don't even know why I'm air quoting it, but most people would rather pretend they know what's happening in their business and hope for the best instead of facing the hard facts. Hope is not a strategy, and numbers don't lie. That's what I love about tracking numbers. Numbers don't lie. And again, most people aren't really running a business. They're running a hobby. They're running a side hustle. And this isn't for everybody, right? Maybe you want to be in your business working all day, or maybe you enjoy what you do. But for me, I'm trying to build a business, which I have, that generates 6 figures per year in profit with me working minimal time, so I can focus my efforts in, investing in other projects and other things that I'm more passionate about. My software company, Replun Catcher, focusing on health and fitness, spending time with my loved ones, investing in real estate, stocks, crypto, different things like that, right? Other projects, like Amazon is cool, but I'd be completely full of BS if I told you like, oh, I love selling on Amazon. Like, this is so much fun. Like, I don't sell on Amazon because I love it. I sell on it for the cash flow. I sell on it to make money, to use it as a tool. I'm not emotionally connected to it, right? And some of you guys are just so emotionally connected with like Amazon and the rules and the terms of service, and I don't want to get in trouble. And it's like, I've literally found a glitch in the matrix that's printing money. So I'm just freaking I'm driving it home and I'm going to drive it until the wheels fall off, right? Obviously, I'm not trying to be a crazy person and get my account suspended, which some of you guys might think that I am doing, but I'm not. I take this very serious, but you know, all in all, this thing's making really good money, and I credit a lot of that to having metrics and numbers like this, tracking it, okay? So yes, it takes time to set this type of system up, to have a team to track these numbers, to find these numbers. It takes time to review the results each week, make changes, improve the system. But for me, honestly, this is the lifeblood of my business. I could not run this business. I could not sleep at night. I could not fall asleep and be comfortable knowing that my team is spending all this money and there's all this money on the line. And obviously, like, flipping from eBay to Amazon is like a lot more risky than doing some other models and stuff. I couldn't sleep at night if I didn't have these, you know, these numbers and these metrics. So in my opinion, if you want to grow, if you want a predictable profit, if you have a good system in place and you want to know exactly where your money is going and how much you're getting back, you need a scorecard like this. So definitely check out the screenshot that I'm sure we're going back and forth, but I'm sure we'll put a screenshot as well. And you could always pause the video and you can kind of check out to see how my business is operating. So you can see what I'm spending every single week, how many items we're purchasing, projected profit. And if you take a look, we're not purchasing a ton of items. Like, you know, in the last year alone, well, at least in 2024, I sold, I think, 6,500 items for $700,000 approximately, made $175,000 profit, put about 130,000, something like that in that range. I think it was 130,000 in my pocket cash flow, right? So I forgot where I was going with that, but you can see every single week what's going on in the business. Oh, and I know what I was going to say. We're not buying a million items. Like you're probably thinking to yourself like, oh my God, like this guy must be buying like 10,000 items a freaking week to be able to make, you know, this type of money. And I'm not getting rich. I mean, if you take a look at my net profit as I put on this post right here, and this is like a little more than 30 days, it's 5 weeks, you know, it's like about $10,000. And some months are slower. Like some months returns are ruthless, or my prep center doesn't ship things in, or sales are slow. And like there's been months in the past where like it doesn't make that much money, but then there's other months where, you know, it crushes it. So this was a pretty decent month, a solid month. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Who else is sharing content like this with their actual numbers? Nobody's doing it. Why? Because I hate to say it, a lot of these guys who you follow, and I know I'm not super popular, I don't get a lot of views anymore. I've kind of realized that I keep calling it a glitch in the matrix, that I found a glitch in the matrix that isn't easy. It takes hard work, it takes capital, it's not entertaining, it's not sexy. People are scared of Amazon now. I get it. Most people aren't even gonna get to this point of the video. It's probably like 5 people. It's not a very exciting, you know, I don't know, business. People wanna go to thrift stores and find freaking stuffed animals and flip it for 20 bucks. Most people could do it. I know most people can't do this. They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the discipline, they don't have the balls to do it. But I'm actually living this life, I'm doing it. And, you know, I'm not going to steer away from, like, I'm not going to just post BS content to make you happy. Like most of these gurus and people, they're not even selling. They're just full of you know what. I'm telling you, they're not going to share these numbers. Why? Because they're not actually living the life. Their whole mindset is just focused on selling you a course, affiliate marketing, different things. You better believe it. I make money from courses, affiliate marketing. I have a software company and everything. But I feel like, why are you following people who aren't even doing it? They can't share these numbers because they're full of it. I'm sorry, they are. I'm sure there's some people out there who are doing it. And again, I never claim to be anything hot, nothing special, but I'm doing this, I'm living this. And that's why, if you ever check the comments, if someone gives me a little snarky comment, I'm trying to do better, but I come back at them and I'm like, what the are you talking about? Like, I live this life. Like, what are you gonna tell me, right? Like, again, I'm not saying I'm the most successful reseller, I'm the smartest, I'm the best, but I live this. I'm making 6 figures. So when you say some dumbass shit, I think to myself, like, I know you're probably in your mom's basement, or I know you're jealous, or I know like you're not doing it. Like, I'm doing it, I'm living it. That's why I talk with this confidence. But yeah, I mean, not to get off on a tangent or anything, but I'm running a real business and you guys can certainly do the same, but you've got to take your business serious. A lot of you guys don't take it serious at all. You're just dabbling. You jump from one thing to the next. You jump from eBay to Amazon to, I'm going to do wholesale and I'm going to do online arbitrage. I'm going to do eBay to Amazon, and you don't take the time to get ungated, and you wonder why you're never getting ahead, because you never invest in yourself. You never set up these systems. You're too impatient. You want results right now. I've been doing this for 5 years, this particular model. I've been selling on Amazon and reselling for over 12 years. Go look at my YouTube channel. Go back to the first videos. I had a full set of hair. But, yeah, I mean, this is it. These are the numbers over the last about 5 weeks or so. So maybe you got some value out of it. Go out, build your own scorecard, and you'll see your business grow a lot faster when you actually know what's going on and you can make good decisions. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, if you have any more questions, drop a comment down below. I'm sure maybe only 1% of the people have gotten this far. If you did, say, you know what? I'm the 1%. Drop a comment saying I'm the 1% if you've gotten this far in a video, because I know you're a true follower and you're gonna get far. So with that being said, guys, thank you.